In the ancient city of Eldoria, nestled between towering mountains and lush valleys, there lived a young scholar named Lyra. Her curiosity was boundless, and her thirst for knowledge insatiable. Lyra spent her days in the Grand Library, a majestic edifice filled with scrolls and tomes from every corner of the world. The library's keeper, Master Elias, recognized Lyra's potential and took her under his wing, guiding her in the pursuit of wisdom. One fateful day, Lyra discovered an ancient manuscript hidden in a forgotten corner of the library. The manuscript spoke of the Codex of Eternal Wisdom, a legendary book said to grant unparalleled knowledge to its reader. However, it also contained a warning. Only those who have learned from their mistakes can truly understand its secrets. Eager to prove herself, Lyra approached Master Elias with the manuscript. Though intrigued, he cautioned her about the dangers of seeking the Codex without the maturity and experience required to wield its power. Undeterred, Lyra set off on a journey to find the Codex, confident in her abilities and driven by her ambition. Lyra's journey led her to the Whispering Woods, a mystical forest known for its enchanted trees and elusive creatures. As she ventured deeper, she encountered a riddle-speaking sprite named Elowen, who guarded the entrance to the ancient ruins where the Codex was said to be hidden. Elowen challenged Lyra with a riddle, testing her intellect and patience. Confident in her knowledge, Lyra hastily answered the riddle, only to realize she had made a mistake. The forest reacted to her error, and she found herself lost in a maze of shifting trees. Frustrated and exhausted, Lyra took a moment to reflect on her actions. She remembered Master Elias's teachings about humility and patience. Realizing her mistake, she approached Elowen again, this time with a calmer mind and a humble heart. She listened carefully to the riddle and considered her answer thoughtfully before speaking. Her correct response pleased Elowen, who then guided her to the ruins. Beyond the Whispering Woods lay the Forgotten City, an ancient metropolis shrouded in mystery. The city was a labyrinth of crumbling buildings and hidden passages, with traps set to deter those unworthy of the Codex. As Lyra navigated the city, she encountered various challenges that tested her intellect and resolve. In the heart of the city, Lyra found an ancient stone tablet inscribed with a complex puzzle. Confident in her abilities, she attempted to solve it quickly, but triggered a trap, causing the floor to give way beneath her. She fell into a dark chamber filled with old relics and faded murals. As she examined her surroundings, Lyra realized that the murals depicted the history of the city and the lessons learned by its people. Inspired, she took her time to study the murals and understood the significance of each lesson. Armed with this newfound wisdom, she climbed out of the chamber and returned to the puzzle. This time, she approached it with caution and reverence, solving it successfully and unlocking a hidden passage leading to the Codex. At the end of the passage, Lyra found herself in a grand hall where the Codex of Eternal Wisdom rested on an ornate pedestal. As she approached, a spectral figure materialized, the Guardian of Knowledge. The Guardian challenged Lyra to prove her worthiness by demonstrating what she had learned from her journey. The Guardian presented Lyra with 3 tasks: a test of intellect, a test of humility, and a test of wisdom. For the first task, Lyra had to decipher an ancient language. Drawing upon her studies and the lessons from the Whispering Woods, she completed the task with ease. The second task required Lyra to acknowledge her previous mistakes and show humility. She recounted her hasty actions and the consequences she faced, admitting her flaws and expressing her growth from these experiences. The Guardian nodded in approval, satisfied with her honesty. The final task was a test of wisdom. The Guardian posed a question: what is the greatest lesson one can learn? Lyra paused, reflecting on her journey. She realized the answer lay not in knowledge alone, but in the ability to grow from one's experiences. To learn from one's mistakes, she replied. The Guardian smiled, and the hall filled with a radiant light. With the Guardian's approval, Lyra was granted access to the Codex of Eternal Wisdom. As she approached the ornate pedestal, her heart raced with anticipation. The Codex was a massive tome bound in ancient leather, its pages edged in gold. Trembling with excitement and reverence, she opened the book, and immediately, a wave of enlightenment washed over her. The Codex was unlike any book she had ever encountered. Its pages were filled with intricate diagrams, luminous illustrations, and words that seemed to glow with an inner light. As she read, the book revealed the interconnectedness of all knowledge, showing her how various fields of study intertwined and supported each other. It emphasized the importance of balance between intellect and humility, between knowledge and wisdom. One particular passage caught Lyra's eye. It described the journey of an ancient scholar who, like her, had sought the Codex but had failed due to his arrogance. The scholar had repeated his mistakes, never learning from them, ultimately leading to his downfall. This story resonated deeply with Lyra, reinforcing the importance of learning from one's mistakes, a lesson she had learned firsthand. After spending what felt like hours immersed in the Codex, Lyra gently closed the book. The guardian of knowledge reappeared, a look of approval on his spectral face. "You have shown great growth, Lyra," he said. "The true value of the Codex lies not just in the knowledge it contains, but in the wisdom to apply it. Go forth and share what you have learned." Lyra returned to Eldoria, her mind brimming with newfound wisdom. As she walked through the city streets, she noticed things she had previously overlooked: the joy of children playing, the dedication of artisans at work, the simple beauty of nature. Each scene seemed to teach its own lesson, echoing the insights she had gained from the Codex. When Lyra arrived at the Grand Library, Master Elias greeted her with a warm smile. "Welcome back, Lyra. I can see in your eyes that your journey was a success." Lyra nodded, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Master Elias, the Codex was everything I hoped it would be and more. It taught me that true wisdom comes from learning from our mistakes and understanding the interconnectedness of all knowledge." Master Elias placed a hand on her shoulder. "I always believed you would understand its true value. Now, it is your turn to share this wisdom with others." Lyra spent the next few days recounting her journey and the lessons learned to her fellow scholars. She spoke of the challenges she faced, the mistakes she made, and how each misstep led her closer to understanding the true nature of wisdom. Her story became a source of inspiration, reminding everyone of the value of humility, patience, and the importance of learning from one's mistakes. Years passed, and Lyra's reputation as a revered scholar grew. She established a school where she taught not just from books, but from her experiences. She encouraged her students to embrace their mistakes as opportunities for growth, to reflect on their actions, and to understand that every error was a step toward greater wisdom. One day, a young student named Arik approached Lyra with a troubled look. "Master Lyra, I've made a mistake in my research, and I'm afraid I've ruined everything." Lyra smiled gently and guided Arik to a quiet corner of the library. "Tell me what happened," she said. As Arik recounted his mistake, Lyra listened patiently. When he finished, she said, "Arik, making mistakes is a natural part of learning. What's important is what you do next. Reflect on what went wrong and why. Use this experience to improve and grow." Arik nodded, a look of determination replacing his earlier despair. "I understand, Master Lyra. Thank you." Lyra watched as Arik returned to his work with renewed focus. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that she was passing on the wisdom she had gained. The legacy of the Codex continued to guide her, ensuring that the pursuit of knowledge in Eldoria was always tempered with the wisdom of experience. As the years went by, Lyra's school flourished, and her teachings spread throughout the land. Scholars, artisans, and common folk alike sought her counsel, drawn by her reputation for wisdom and compassion. Lyra's journey had come full circle, and she had become a beacon of enlightenment, illuminating the path for others to follow. In the twilight of her life, Lyra often reflected on her journey to the Codex. She realized that the greatest lesson she had learned was not just from the book itself, but from the experiences and mistakes that led her there. And so she continued to teach, ensuring that the wisdom of the Codex lived on in the hearts and minds of those who came after her.